Hi everyone, welcome back to Rogue Trader. We've just finished the prologue. If you want to have a look down here, that's the DLC a couple of places. Let's have a quick... He's new, he might be something to do with the DLC. Let's have a quick talk to people. Victis. A thin pale woman stands out amongst the rest of the crew. There's a thick bundle of cables coming out of the back of her skull, disappearing under a ceremonial garment. She had a great and quietly humming box where a mouse should be. She's obviously voidable. The woman sees you and bows her head in respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Lieutenant? Who are you? Voxmaster Octavius Victus Suliotta of the Ptolemon dynasty. The current Voxmaster serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assume this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Voxmaster Septimus, who was my grandfather. What are the Voxmaster's duties? Normal mouse probes among the backup mouse. My name is and voice of this voice ship. I supervise several dozen officers, 3 times that number of support personnel. Receive, send, encrypt and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels. We also ensure clean communications and optimum efficiency of the crew's voxcasters. If you ever want to know what worries concerns your crew's harboring, what your subjects are whispered about in local networks after their watches, and what the leaders are clam about over their shortwave vox transmissions, just come and see me, and I will satisfy your curiosity. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Lord Captain, I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. Your appearance is unique. You're voidborn, aren't you? My appearance comes from my heritage. Generation after generation of people spent their entire lives in the depths of this void ship. Neither we nor our ancestors ever left our home. But the same can be said about many deserts of the Imperium's million worlds. We're used to the silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn. Where does the word Voidborn come from? Voidborn. Because we are children born in the void between the stars, in the womb of a travelling vessel, an orbital satellite, or a forgotten asteroid station, low gravity, voyages through the warp, and the countless dangers of space travel. Everything others hate and dread is second nature to us. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn in my crew. To us, the groans, creaks and murmurs of the ship sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it is feeling and thinking. We are part of the ship, just like it is part of us. We perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order, prevent mutiny, others serve as shepherds to support the crew. Some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. Most of the Voidborn are members of the large voidship dynasties that bear responsibility for a certain aspect of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptolemon dynasty has produced the ship's Voxmasters. Most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty. How do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its domain. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of our activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting of hymns, and mind the stars beyond, of course. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak and move differently from the inhabitants of the planet. Our way of life, traditions and quirks frighten these people because of the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be bringers of ill fortune, but alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages. She hesitates before continuing. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Idira Talas not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn. you're close friends with Adira. Webs of tiny wrinkles appear at the corner of Victus's eyes. They only hint the Voxmaster is smiling. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage. But you see, many consider Adira to be different. I'm different too. We have spent a lot of time in each other's company discussing regicide over a glass of amasec. Isn't the chess and amasec is alcohol? Except Adira changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodore made him withdraw even more. I do not know if Adira considers me a friend now, but we used to be very, very close. Just good that I can still look after her in my own way. Come on, mouse. Interpreting the Voxmaster's emotions based on half a face and Vox modulated voice is no easy task, but he managed to catch the undercurrent of Victus's words. Voxmaster is not merely saddened by Vift, with Adira, she is devastated by him. Oh, I had 100%. That's a gimme that was. Just a free experience. Have you ever left the ship? Once I did, and it was dreadful. It felt like a massive blue dome overhead would shatter at any moment and fall. My bones would be crushed by the gravity. She twitched her shoulders, trying to ward off the flood of memories. The ship is my home, Lord Captain. I will not trade it even for the bounty of 100 gloves. I see. I might do that later. That'll be for all for now. If to serve, Lord. I don't want to have the whole episode just talk. I might talk to other people at different times. But as a person who was here, Gento wants to talk. Maybe next episode. So we'll level. I might go to start from one end. I didn't think I saw him in the last playthrough. He was right at the start, being taught how to discipline deckhands and stuff. Jocasta Sauerback is a very picture of discipline. Her uniform is exquisitely pressed, her armour is polished, and her posture is imposing and rigid. The only flaw in her immaculate appearance is the heavy enforcer's maul, which is worn and battered from frequent use. She salutes you with a practiced motion. Greetings, Lord Captain. How did you come to serve on my flagship? I come from the noble Sauerback family of the capital world of Dalgonus. I dare say that our house is renowned for its loyalty and strict adherence to the law. Members of my family have been your faithful enforcers for centuries. I am honoured to be the 6th Master at Arms named Sauerback to serve on this ship. Jocasta speaks the words with unmistakable pride. Why are you here instead of basking in luxury on Dalgonus? Because of my cousin Macarius. A furious crease appears between her brows. I can't stand him, but the feeling is mutual. We can hardly be in the same room together, so I jumped at the opportunity to become your enforcer. I should thank my obnoxious cousin for nudging me towards the best decision of my life. She's got a picture as well. I serve you with all my heart and wish no other fate than this one. You're wearing Imperial Navy armour. How did you come by it? It is inherited from the previous Master at Arms. Like the esteemed Seneschal, he left the Navy to serve Lady Theodora. He brought quite a few officers with him and established a tradition. On the death or resignation of an enforcer, his or her armour will be passed on to a fellow officer who will distinguish themselves in the course of their duties. I was awarded armour in this way in my time, and upon the death of my predecessor, I inherited his personal armour. What's your opinion of me as Lord Captain? I do not share the disgraceful concerns of certain crew members indulging. Those who do whisper about your so-called apostasy. How do they know about that? So-called apostasy for an emperor, all traitors. She looks away before she does so. You notice a strange spark in her eyes. The courage with which you ignore the opinions of others deserves admiration. Oh, I did have found that one for me. There was fire in the black depths of her gaze. If she could, she would devour your whole with her sidelong glances. I seem to be detecting something more than mere admiration. Then what about... Or the people of the lake, she licks her lips involuntarily. Think about think about how superior you are to those around you, or you can. Permit yourself. It leaves me trembling. This is a bit sudden. Wow, this is expect this. You forget yourself. Of course, Lord Captain. She forced herself to look at you again, and this time you see only cold impassivity in her eyes. I want to know what you think about the other officers. Do not trust them. I do not trust anyone. Mistress Tolliman has too much power. She'll surely be tempted to start deciding for herself what information to share with the crew on your behalf, what to withhold. Therefore, it's closely intertwined with the ship's systems, which opens up plenty of opportunities for sabotage. He must be watched. As for Danrock, begging you, that man of his size and habits cannot help but steal. What can you tell about Abelard? The Seneschal is a model of competence and fidelity, and all the officers and enforcers look up to him with gratitude. A grimace of fierce devotion takes hold of Sarawak's face before she abruptly groups her teeth and continues. It's all the more distressing to see that the years have not been kind to him, a deeply respected master of Assyrian. Soon there'll be no rejuvenant. What? Maybe she was rejuvenant treatment that can save him from mistakes inherited at such an advanced age. But we are ever watchful. We'll be there to steady the trembling hand of the honoured veteran if need be. I want to know more about your service. Ready to answer any questions? What are your duties? Somebody knows. I'm responsible for upholding safety and order aboard the ship. Guard duties, patrols, finding and punishing troublemakers. In addition, my forces ensure that the crew follow all directives and carry their tasks properly. As I say in my family, a servant who shows disobedience today faces a riot tomorrow. There are thousands of people aboard this vessel. How do you maintain order? 2 words, Lord Captain. Suppression and fear. The base nature of the rabble cries for an iron grip, lest they give in to their animal urges. We have many well-tested measures to prevent it. Random night searches, preventative interrogations, corporal punishment, and executions. Of course, the laws of the ship equally apply to the officers. We eradicate the canker of insubordination wherever we find it, without mercy. What did the previous Master at Arms do? We're hoping not repeat the mistakes of the previous Master at Arms. He's dead. You can be sure of that. He was a fine enforcer, but suffered the fatal flaw of trust in his associates. I myself lack that weakness and trust no one except you, Lord Captain. Okay. Looks like that romance thing's now been shut down. That's all for now. Proud to serve the dynasty. Talk to her again. Yeah, it's been shut down. Okay. Strange. It's a bit sudden also. I know what happens to the sailbacks later. Okay, Danrock. I'll do the talky talk later with you. Questions? Maybe I've got to open up that's not one. What's God? Arrangement. This is just annoying me. Maybe I'll find a position for him. Weird. Alright. Stop talking. Casters there. Map. Let's go up here. There you go. The squad's back together. I don't know which one to go to first. I don't know if there's any difference at the moment. Don't know if the DLC has triggered.
Keep your wits about you.
Love the music. The throne is furnished with a conductive charge supply and can be turned on to an instrument of execution. Oh, because it's Astrophatic. In case they get taken over by the vault, they can just all be executed. Check my servers say. Candle's gone out again on 34. But at least this time I have to scrape psychic ice up.
Always keep your eye on the price.
They're staring at me with burnt eyes like a leper. I'm just passing through, right? So you can calm down, Mr. Diva.
Unexpected result.
The machine uses many quills to commit Astrophatic whispers to people and sorts them sorting all mental images based on their needs.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Back of the throne is smeared with something dark red. Sacred unguent. You see enormous outlets of little machines and shades. Greenish shades. Xenos to me. What's this? The last beacon cannot be safe on the 13th storm. Perhaps rather this bloody sun is yawning more. What's the deal with provenance? Living is inevitable. The boundless sunset and terrific sunrise brought forth into a wailing world in the room of dirt. Do you have to say anything about that? Something in her life.
Is there money to be made?
Sacrifice. What is that? A massive fucking hell. church. Not Gothic at all. An endless stream of symbols fills the big tables. Deceased navigators are organ repurposed with the choir's masterpieces. Here is where processed messages converge from all over the chapel. Dendrites just go. He looks like a complete fucking meter. Master Vice's powerless man to follow his example. Except once I heard what he was saying, it was not for me. Never listen to him. He his whispers again.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Once the text was ready for final interpretation, the Koronus sent it to the choirmaster and ominous meanings on their images.
Rush not Donal.
Detectives and machine spirits unrest. Without his gifts, our sacrifices are fruitless. Barely heard the voice of the young Astrophatic standing very still next to the bulky mechanism, his face frozen in a mask of despair. The anemic hands are pressed to his chest, clutching cruel strips of thin paper. He hears your approach and composes himself. Legacia, Sigma AR-87. His head lowered. There was not so much as a glance in your direction, but his hands folded beneath his robe. He makes a barely audible pleasant sound. A prayer to technical lingua. Which is... imagine the old dial-up modems they're connecting. Or the old 300 baud acoustic modems used to put the phone and headset to the acoustic coupler. As that works. What's going on? Sacred Combine was ailing your lordship. Numerous criminal machine splits are disrupting the mechanism's operation. The 12th row of the drum is now adding incorrect signals. The man shows you a stack of papers and he notes at once that the vote squiggles in each line all ended in the same relief. Some of the servants of WH40k, the machine spirits are none too eager to hear their prayers. The esteemed engineer is in a state of tech prayer trance as a move. The spot for a day now. As soon as his head into his shoulders to the low, I had the audacity to think the sacred Apollo would be better helped when examining his powers. But am I to question the secret knowledge of the debtors mechanicus? Is there anything I can do to help? Find out if order. Fix if you should.
I always keep my options open.
The mechanism rotates steadily, adding and trying to click it notes to the channel's marking and channel liberated. It clashes against the wall and sends in the like staying integrity. There was no 50,000.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
The receiver's enormous wheels direct paper tapes contained on process tables in the chapel's depths of the rest of the paper with an Imperium to be sent to Koronus.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
voices blended in more natural unison. The longer you listen to the call of chat, the stronger your headache grows. Let's talk to sacrifice. Master sacrifice. That's pretty cool. A tall old man in a long green robe stands motionless in front of a conjugal. The closer you approach, the clearer you can hear his continuous unintelligible whisper. You're about to call his name, but he falls sharply, and turns towards you first. Lord Captain. A visit from the rogue traders on the furrows. Like other Astrophatic of the chapel, the Master eyes are bandaged over the time-worn scrolls of sacred renaissance. Nevertheless, you cannot shake the feeling that his otherworldly glowing gaze is still keenly. How could I be of use, Your Lordship? Sanction is a brutal procedure, one which robs every Astropath of the gift of sight. In return, they gain a new kind of vision that allows them to see what one cannot. The light emanating from beneath the bandages flickers with strange hues as the Master approaches his temple. His expression shifts in a way you're well familiar with. It's the look of one who's glimpsed the grim signs that evil has left upon your soul. Well, did my nightmares scold you? My apologies, Your Lordship. I sensed a strangeness in you. My mind reached out to its own accord. I did not see much, but what I did see was enough. It grieves me to know this mark weighs on you so. Trust me, I'm well acquainted with the oppressive burden of doom. Your good face and drooping corners of the mouth look focused and courteous at the same time. My name is Sacrifice. I'm the Master of the Choir. I was posted to this ship soon after my soul binding ritual on Holy Terror. Might say I've been serving the household classes all my life. How did you like serving under Lady Theodora? I served her 2 decades, and never knew another Lord Captain before your ascension. With her, I've been through Master 4 sides as I briefly transported his mind to another place. The shadow of regret creeps onto his face. Many things. Lady Theodora had a good understanding of my significance within the overall mechanism of ship's services. Orly contained irritation creeps with the expression of regret upon his face, which, however, did not stop her from neglecting my orders. I'm confused, so how old are you? If my calculations are correct, I found that our movements through the warp, I turned 34 a month and a half ago. There was a pause. You can't quite decide if the old man in front of you is joking. Not the slightest hint of a smile on his face. Tell about the Astrophatic Cathedral. Lord Captain, there's something specific I'd like to know. What is the place? Those Astropaths, this place is like cradle without grave. You are the conflux of every secret missive, and every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scenes. You are a place where each of our loyal Astropaths is meant to lay down their life in crumbs of information without your wish. We receive the same messages. For hours turn into days, we wander through the dark depths of the Imperium, carrying our voice through the warps of eternal night. Bringing it to our comrades in some remote refuge, accepting the voices, signals, and missives of others into our own abode. Those are most often meant for you, Your Lordship, and at times meant for no one. Point to the mechanical drum. What device is this? It's a sacred compiler, so we can that helps us record, store, and to an extent, unriddle messages. The Astropaths first receive those messages in the form of muddled images, dictated by the seat of the machine, which logs their every word. From the wheels of the receivers on the ceiling, the machine recorded words routed through lines under the floor into transcribers, and then the thesaurus core. This core is the most important part of the mechanism, as it contains a vast catalogue of various symbols and methods of interpretation. The compiler matches the images, the message, against its data and forwards the results to the central cogitator and myself, so that I can begin the ritual of decoding. I know of no other choir that can possess so wise a mechanism, and praise the God Emperor for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of intelligible meaning from complex imagery, an astropath can still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than the rights of receiving or sending an astropathic message. If your machine knows the meaning of the symbols, why can't it decode the messages itself? It better becomes all your lordship. Astropathic messages are not ciphered dispatches, but rather psychic imprints containing information. Only an astropath can read the entirety of something created through the medium of the warp. Furthermore, as messages pass through the material, they might become distorted by malevolent intent. We force your servants alone to shield their mind with faith and separate the true meaning from the influence of the ruinous powers. So if you wanted to hide certain information from me, could you? His face twisted with bitter grimness. My duty is to shield you from the monstrous communications that filter through the warp. The screams of the Emperor's loyal servants, centuries dead by now. The nightmarish maddening images of the Sea of Souls. The cursed symbols that cause astropaths to convulse in violent fits of frenzy. The messages that form abominations in search of weak minds to devour. Concealing all of that from you is my duty. How do you become an astropath? Gives you a bright smile. Assume that you know the answer already, your lordship. You walked a similar road yourself, even though you took a different turn than I. We're all part of the Imperial tithe once. Psyker delivered to Terra, black ships. The Imperial tithe was 1,000 Psykers every day were sacrificed to keep them alive or something. Only a few of the candidates had what it took to study astropathy. A few are still successfully completed the cooling or training to be eligible for soul binding, and almost none survived the initiation. He throws his head back. We were given the privilege to behold the Emperor's light, a light flawless and searing. By his smile visits his lips. That changes you. It wounds you irreparably. It takes your eyesight. In exchange, you commune with greatness. His presence in our souls fortifies them as we stand against prodigious powers. After the ritual, an astropath is assigned their position. This or that adeptus, an astropathic relay, or ship. More often than not, the first place of service is also the last. If something happens to your choir, where can I find new astropaths? The expression's wrinkled face grows more serious. It would be more on point to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the warps of dangerous influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even this defense would be no obstacle, especially if one spends as much time in the company as we do. There's only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Not permitting unattached astropaths from the sector posted to the ship, ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra, who will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options, blasphemous, forbidden options. Unsanctioned cycles, unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past their first few seances. Even those would do, should the God Emperor call our souls through severe trials. Judging by how rapid the warp has been of late, by the number of dead astropaths, those trials will be upon us sooner than our prayers could reach Terra. Dearer, there are a couple of places we can get new astropaths, she grins maliciously. There is, of course, he does insist on being classy and proper, and it's Friday bunch. I think she does offer that later on when we meet. I want to discuss other topics. Listen carefully, Lord Captain. The odd noise inside the chapel does not bother you. On the contrary, Lord Captain, it is a mental focusing technique used by your flagship squire, one I invent myself. This music was written by an astropath. What my charge is not here is not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. The music protects our minds from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them. The Above all else, it serves as a beacon of sorts amid the tumultuous sea of souls, a thread to lead us home from a deadly maze. I've witnessed the death of one of the Astrophatic. What happened? Prime Master sighs and makes a sign of the equivalent. May the God Angel rest his soul and protect him from his power's tenacious claws. That's the 5th one this month. Our younger voices cannot handle the war. Storms raging in the expanse, end up losing their minds. He adds barely audibly, if they're lucky. Something is afoot to the other side of the wall, Lord Captain. Something infinitely sinister, something disastrous. Scraps of mountain images that reach us from the Imperium carry the mark of doom. The images emanating from there are like a beast baring its teeth. You've heard the accounts of disturbances in the warp-affected Psykers, especially Astropaths, that delve most deeply into the immaterial. Will there be more and more long stories of late? Something is raging in the warp, something that poses a particular threat to those with psychic powers. The Heretic's maledicting. A huge warp storm stretching across the galaxy will result in a catastrophic rift in new space. We'll speak about the contrast. Speak later, Quiet Master. I have business to attend to. Goodbye, Your Lordship.
Keep your wits about you.
No, I think I've got to try and fix that. I can get past that. Skill, logic. Let's try the shrine. This is difficult. There's an Edelgard. All the way to Technost. Reliquary maintenance cycle. See no deviation from sacred protocols detected. We start here. This chair.
This could be an opportunity.
Power mold rests inside the glass. The inscription on the reliquary reads, I am wrath, behind the cleansing. This of Wilsman walks in the footsteps of Furia. Letters. It's death. So it's just Furia, isn't it?
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Let's find out what's going on. It's you. Should seek. Board shop is young priest exercised to collect, then protects your lordship, powered by your service. You. Initiate Zeke, your lordship, recite prayers and help confess out of our rights. What's this relic next? Initiative looks over the sarcophagus, the skeleton within its clutching an arm and made many tightly fitted tubes containing glyphs, a mysterious object, or undeniably a holy one. It was a native group of pilgrims to study the legacy of the great missionary Nadine Aleynikov. They believed there was something inside that only someone truly righteous was meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment of the orb's opening that they bequeathed their body to us. Do you have any ideas how to open this orb? One of your predecessors was the last attempt to solve this relic's mystery, not a long time ago, before Lady Theodore was born, that's all I know. Why not just disassemble it? To damage a sacred relic is an unthinkable crime. To use force to bypass the test of wisdom and faith it contains is terrible blasphemy. Okay, can I get away from this? I'm going to try and solve the mystery of the orb. Initiate opens the lock and hands you the orb. Someone has already moved the hoops around, trying to arrange the letters into meaningful sentences. It only takes a few more rotations of the orb to split cleanly into 4 parts. each with its own question. The answers should presumably be formed using adjoining hoops. Why are oh, I can try it again. So let me save. Disguising inside the sarcophagus is holding a spherical object gleaming in the gold. Form the question the orb's first quarter. My light reaches everywhere. The greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, and the wise will see me in their souls as the emperor. Or better or worse, something clicks inside the orb. So the second one. I am within every human. My loss is feared, for without me comes an end. Give me to the emperor, you will be eternal. Blood. Faith. Not blood. Another soft click comes from inside the orb. The third one. I am poison, I am perdition, I am disgrace. Burn me down, eradicate me, and perish, rejected by the emperor. Click. The click, the hoop settles into place. And the last one. In your body, mind, and soul, you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I bring you closer to him. Ugh. Could be any of these. Purity. Okay. Emperor. Faith, maybe. Heretic. Purity. That's definitely Emperor. Soul. Heretic. Purity. There's 256 variations. If they've all got 4, that is. It could be this one that's wrong as well. Doing the same thing over. Okay, what we'll do is I'll pause and try for half an hour so you don't have to see it. I've reloaded it a couple of times. What was it? Oh, I had it. Yeah. Blood. I was right with the first one. I was wrong with Emperor. It was throat. This one is weakness, and then purity was right. Ta-da! It all comes alive. The seeds shift around with alarming speed, coming together, folding into each other, until the orb opens completely, laying its treasure bare. Missionary oath. Continue. The initiate stares at the relic in your hands, stunned. How strange and exciting it is to behold the holy object that has lain hidden from the eye for so many years. Truly it's a great day when the rogue trader himself has revealed the legacy of great missionaries to us all. So I've got this item. Once per combat, if the wearer does not use any abilities during their turn, they can end their turn to immediately grant all adjacent allies an extra turn with 1 AP. That's really good for the first turn. It gets even better later on. when you're in the tactician. What's the class that goes first before anybody else? I think it's tactician or strategist, one of the two. So everyone can get buffed really quickly. Actually, that'd be good for Pascal, because all he does usually is drop zones down. Give it to him. Cassie can drop the zones. He passes his turn. Everyone gets a free turn. Adira can do all these get free turns. Someone kills her marked tiles. Do extra buffing all the time. And buffing herself as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That seems quite OP. It doesn't sound like it. With interaction of certain abilities that I'm thinking of using for these characters, it could be really overpowered. The Imperium victim, the shards of unknown intervening crusade warriors with twin blades, returned from pirate captivity by the grace of the Emperor. Skills can do it. The Rex Regarded, partially restored blade of Sathudus the Earnest, a missionary who decimated the abominable Xenos and fell in deathly battle against the righteous. Nisha Clotus. A lanky Nisha is leaning over a cogitator, an expression of extreme mental effort on his face. His fish-like round eyes peer into the screen. Grant me understanding, master. Grant me wisdom. He winces as you approach. Your lordship, how can I be of service? Who are you? What do you do here? I'm Clotus, junior cleric. I've sought recordings from the shrine confessional to pass to the higher ranking clergy. Tell me about the confessional. Our parishioners come here to repent, to share their innermost thoughts and observations of their neighbours. The sacred machine records all confessions and alters the voices beyond recognition. Is there a way to find out who made which confession? There is not. He shakes his head resolutely. That would undermine the usefulness of it. The first prototype wasn't anonymous, so those confessions might as well have been carbon copies of each other. Everyone is impeccably diligent and pious and whatnot. As soon as the machine spirit started keeping the name secret, the parishioners opened up. Wow, this is really bad. Yeah, much later. Good thinking. Make it anonymous. Keep up the fine work. Endeavour to do so. It appears you are having difficulties. Nothing escapes your lordship's notice. As it so happens, I'm struggling to characterise 3 peculiar confessions. I wouldn't have dared tell you about them, but I think I may have been left by senior officers, which would make this a matter of the highest order, one that's far beyond my meagre understanding. These confessions, you see, are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of dissent or heresy poisoning the minds of some of the most eminent members of the crew, but I cannot change what I heard. He bows his head in reverence. I cannot share this anyone but the Emperor's anointed, nor can I allow anyone but your lordship to listen to these messages protected by the secrecy of confession. What makes you think these confessions are made by senior officers? These parishioners are well spoken, meaning they're used to address an audience. Once they issue orders or vested in power, and well, after categorizing so many confessions, I've learned to notice the subtle differences between them. Let me hear them. The Nisha stepped aside to put the cogitator on display. Pious doubt, theft of ship property, irreverence. One question has troubled me for years. Why is someone destined to perish in war while others must go on living, preserving the memory of the dead? Worthier, more luminous souls have been lost, yet I am still here. Light static is distorted and recorded. I'm confident the speaker is male. theft of ship property. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials. Every so often, I consider increasing their rations and ordering more sets of clothes for them. That will not replace the families they lost, but will improve their life somewhat, especially given that the ship has enough resources to cover that comparably trivial expense. Despite the poor sound quality, you determine the voice to be male. Ugh. Do not know who on the ship is in charge of orphans, if everyone. Lop-eared kleppers displaying a high degree of socialization both among their kind and towards their owners. These animals adjust well to the void ship's lower gravity, since it's similar to their homeworld's condition. Lop-eared klepper meat is edible, should necessity demand it. The voice sounds muffled, as though from behind a thick layer of glass, as unmistakably a woman's. Next, it looks at you, intrigued by who does not say a word. I'm curious to know who left these confessions, so seek them out. I suppose these confessions truly are special if your lordship has given them his personal attention. Initiate bows deeply. Never would I have imagined the rogue trader himself coming to my aid. I will leave you to your concerns. Labour for the glory of the Emperor and House of Alphonsus.
Let us not dawdle.
51 minutes of talk. Oh, okay. Well, I've got let's go talk to him. Professor Adalbert. A plump rosy-cheeked old man with lighting candles taking his time with each. Glints of fire dance on his heavy golden quilla, and his blue sky eyes, or sky blue eyes, as he addresses you, smiling. The Emperor protects your lordship. Are you here to pray, or have mundane matters brought you to me? There's an incredibly profound quality to his voice that speaks with mesmerizing timbre. What do you do? I'm a ship's confessor, your lordship. No vessel that relies on what the Imperium's laws could sail void without a spirited guide. Even a smaller sized ship that does not have a member of the Ecclesiarchy on board trusts all matters of faith to a layperson who is a staunch adherent to the creed. Rogue Trader's flagship, naturally, I suspect to have a confessor who comes from the line of his reverend servants, and such a one. I am entrusted with caring for the reliquary chapel and dynastic crypt. I also conduct liturgies, consecrate the ship's bays, and strengthen the crew's hearts whenever dark hours upon us, lest any among them falter in the face of the horrors, look in the darkness, and fail in their duty. Tell me, Adalbert, do you visit the shrine confessional to repent as the other officers do? Why, I always find time for my penance in the morning and the evening shifts, your lordship. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, have they not? Do you mean spiritual nourishment, which is ever in short supply? Those children who are literate could use the prayer books and hagiographies for their own perusal and for others to read to the others. Why are some destined to perish in the war while others must go on living? Irrelevant question. His face takes on an expression of fathomless wisdom and calm. Our fates are in the Emperor's hands, and he does as his plans require. I see, it wasn't you. For a moment I thought you had come to confess, but now I see you've taken on the role of the cleric yourself. Might the Emperor guide you on your quest for answers? Tell me about dynastic crypt. Every rogue trader takes care to maintain an appropriate place of repose on board their flagship. While the capital may change with the passing of centuries, but the vessel of the Emperor's anointed serves them for millennia. It is more than just a symbol of the dynastic's authority. It is the source of its power, the Lord Captain's seat in the void, whence they reign over their many lands. The Ron Velasquez crypt is where rogue traders and other most loyal servants are laid to rest. As the ship's confessor, I perform the rites of burial and remembrance for these honoured dead. Adalbert lets out a heavy sigh. It never occurred to this old man that he might have to send Lady Theodore on a final journey, but all is the Emperor's will. I'd like to find out more about this. I can talk about the reliquary chapel, chapel for hours. Is this the only place of worship on the ship? Why no. There are multiple sancta on every deck. Where your subjects pray fervently, clergy keeps a close watch on the firmness of the faith. This, on the other hand, he gestures around the glittering reliquary, is the holiest of holy places, rather than the noblest amongst your servants are permitted to set foot. Okay. Where does the collection of sacred relics come from? Every relic we have here is either arduously tracked down by your ancestors, captured in battle against the faithless, or received as a gift for glorious deeds. The show of loyalty to the Emperor speaks for itself, does it not? It makes no effort to conceal his pride. For our part, keep the precious relics intact and undisturbed as we conduct liturgies or perform rites. Initiate Zeke is especially diligent in his care for the relics, though he is of common style, he earns the position through dedication and piety. We would like to hear the Imperium's tenets, and the voice brimming with solemnity at the bar begins. Every man and woman has their place in the order. He created, and this order must be followed, and the will of one's superiors obeyed. For rev witches, for they have been stained by the war, persecute mutants for their perversions of the human form, and hate the accursed Xenos. The Imperial Creed prescribes being wary of Psykers, but the Imperium needs them. I can understand. Having been touched by the powers of the warp yourself, you're pondering your own essence. He nods sympathetically. You are right, without the Astropaths we are deaf and blind. Though many other Psykers labour for the good of humanity, there is their place within the Emperor's design. Only those among them who accept his light have been authorized. Idira scoffs contemptuously. For once in your life, could you just admit it, that it doesn't take a tongue callous from prayer to handle the warp's dangers. The Ecclesiarchy tells us to persecute mutants, but an exception was made for navigators. The Navis nobility are different from most humans, but the differences are a blessing. They are noble servants of the Imperium who help humanity expand its galactic domain. Do you not see it as a higher purpose that pleases the Emperor? Among the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Emperor is known as the Omnissiah. Not quite. They have their own form of worship. Do they truly share our beliefs? Most certainly. Different likenesses of the Emperor and ways of worship with him can be found across the Imperium's world, but we all believe in the one. Don't worry, I won't count myself as a heretic here. That will suffice for now. That's enough talking. I'll talk to him later.
Is there money to be made?
Aquila Anima, fragment of the Cathedral of Eternal Redemption, born in the shrine world of Solace 6 lost. Right, I'm going to end this episode here. The next episode, do something different than just talk. Right? Honest. Truthful.
I always have a backup plan.
That's pretty cool to share this there. I could have a look next episode, maybe. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Next episode, we're just going to start some exploring, rather than just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking for now. There is a lot of dialogue in the next one, but it is set in the lore and set in the scene. So I'll save it here. And thanks for watching. Next episode, I might not wait a full day to release the next one. Depends if work gives me time to record one or two. And we'll do some moving around London on planets, stuff like that. Hopefully it comes out. And I will see you then. Bye for now.